holding them or anything like that. Mostly for mental support and having someone there with you.
And for carrying them.
Yes, and carrying as well, yes. Probably the most important part. Up next we have Abdullah Al-Umran of Kuwait, doing a 64-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2 minutes and 10 seconds. You can see wearing a very stylish pink nose clip,
Oh yes.
which is definitely my vibe. I'm all about the bright colors, the fun colors. As we say in freediving, the most important rule of freediving is to make sure you look good doing it. And yeah, I mean, there are many ways you can sort of accessorize yourself and have, cool looking equipment and all that. And yeah.
And Abdullah is
Yeah,
doing this well.
Yes, exactly. You can also see he has a neck weight on. Some divers will opt to wear weight around their waist.
Okay.
Other divers will rather have it around their neck. The idea behind wearing it up at your neck and your head is that it's sort of like you're an arrow. All of the weight is concentrated on the front of the arrow, and where the arrow tip goes, the rest of the arrow follows.
Okay.
And so it sort of helps divers stay a bit more streamlined. Whereas if you have weight around your waist, if you're out of position, you can sort of that weight will start to move you out of position even more. And again, we notice the pool noodle that Abdullah is using, keeping him above the water. And again, with every diver being different, each one has a sort of preference on how they do their breathe up on top of the surface as well. Like I said, some will, and as we've seen, some will just lay on the surface of the water with their face facing up. Others will sit, like Abdullah's doing, on a noodle, just holding onto the line. And others still will even, have a snorkel in their mouth and will be face down in the water. Right there.
He's going.
Yep. And if you noticed, he put his hands on his hood and opened his hood up a little bit. That's called flooding your hood, where you let water in to the outer ear. Because if you don't do that, and there's air in your outer ear instead, that creates an extra airspace that you're unable to equalize. And so you can go deeper and deeper and deeper, but eventually that airspace will get smaller and it will start to basically pull on your eardrum from the outside.
Yes. And some divers make little holes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On the hoodie.
Yes, and
Make
so
it easier.
they don't actually have to think about the water, letting the water in and flooding the hood. Although I've spoken with some divers and they say they don't like to do that if they dive in cold water, because that means the cold water is always sort of going into their ear and it can sort of bother them. The benefit of having no holes in your hood is that you flood it once and let the water stay in your ear, and then that water stays nice and warm. Cool. Got the tag. Here we go.
Now, hands up.
Yep, hands up, moving to a more streamlined position. Really strong kicks
2 minutes!
here coming from Abdullah.
30 meters!
Bending knees a lot.
Yes.
For a
20
better
meters!
technique, maybe.
Yes, yours.
you can see the safety is trying to keep up.
Oh yes.
Again, with a monofin, you're moving much faster, and so
Oh yes.
there we go, nice and high in the line.
He's okay. He gave the sign.
Yep, gave the sign. Again, the only sign that you need to give here in Seamass for this comp.
And show.
Got the tag, got a big smile, and we've got a white card. All the things you like to see. As I was saying earlier, all of the divers are wearing safety lanyards,
Oh yes.
which are basically connect them to the line. So if there's an issue, we do have a machine that will pull the line up at a rate of, I think we tested it at 1.1 meters per second. So if a
great.
diver blacks out very, very deep, which is very uncommon but can happen, and we want to be prepared for that,